Welcome to the 13th episode of the Fourth Inning Podcast, the podcast where four friends talk about their one love for sports. I'm Josh, joined with my friends Blake, Tristan, and Matt. If you haven't checked our last episode, make sure to do so and hear us talk about and rank our top 10 board/card games. Also, make sure to check out our social media accounts and give us a follow. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Fourth Inning Pod. I'm now going to let Matt give you guys a breakdown of some of the top performances in baseball from the past week.
Thank you, Josh. I'm going to hop right into it. This week was pretty eventful. I'll start with some underperforming teams. I'm going to start with the Los Angeles Angels. They're 17-25. Despite a recent hot streak, they have underwhelmed this year.
Yeah, I really thought the Angels were going to be I'd say decent team coming into this year. They signed Rendon, signed Dylan Bundy to add to their rotation, and they just haven't been good at all.
Another team that I think has been underperforming this year is the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 15-21 and in last place in the National League West.
Yeah, I would know about this one. I've been following them because they were my next up team. And it's quite disappointing to see them having a bad year. And they're playing in a very, very good NL West right now.
Yeah, in AL West.
But,
loaded.
Loaded. I said NL West.
And AL West. You know,
but the NL West is probably the best division in baseball right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's tough to see them not having a good year at all.
We're going to move right into some overperforming teams now. I'm going to start with the Toronto Blue Jays. They are 22-18. Their offense is going wild, and they have now passed the Yankees for second place in the American League East.
Yeah, it's scary to see that team doing so well already when they're probably the youngest team in baseball, with definitely the youngest infield, with Biggio, Bichette, and Guerrero.
Yeah, and it's not like those guys haven't been putting their team on the back. It's basically been them and others. So, they're definitely a team to watch out for.
Another overperforming team this year is the San Francisco Giants. They've been on this list a few times. They are 20-21, and I believe currently in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're another team from that loaded NL West, and they've shocked the world with the way they're performing this year. Yastrzemski's had one heck of a year. He's the young upcoming player, so I'm really excited to watch this team.
I'd love to see him make the play.
Yeah,
make the playoffs.
Solano's come out of nowhere.
Yeah. I had no idea who that guy was.
And he was an MVP candidate for a while, I think, at the beginning of the year when he got hot.
2 weeks maybe.
Yeah. Well, it was no name being an MVP candidate is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
And that team shouldn't be as good as they are, but they are apparently.
Yeah, another common occurrence on this segment is Shane Bieber is pitcher of the week, and that'll stay the same. Shane Bieber is our pitcher of the week with a 1.25 ERA with 7 wins. So it looks like he's going to reach that 9-win mark this year. It's looking pretty good.
We talked about him last week, potentially winning MVP, and it seems like every week he just continues to reach that step, and I think he's right there for it.
Him
and Tatis, or not Tatis, I apologize. Him and Mike Trout, definitely up there for AL MVP right now.
He's putting up one of the better pitching performances of our lifetime.
Yeah.
He's 1.25 ERA. If he can keep that up for the rest, even if it's just a 60-game season, that's enough for the record books right there.
And it's a shame it's a shortened season too. If this was a 162-game season, I would love to see the numbers people would have put up.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going to move to Player of the Week. A bit of a new one, but we all know his name. His name is Michael Trout.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know who that guy is.
Mr. Michael.
He's got 15 home runs. He's got 15 home runs, which is tied for the league. 1.071 OPS. He has been slugging the ball of recent weeks. That is true.
One of the greatest players probably of all time. So
he will be.
Oh yeah,
he will be.
He's been off to a slow start this year, and he's still putting up leading numbers.
Yeah, he was out for I think 2 weeks due to having his first child born, and he's still up there. It's crazy. It's a shame he plays for the Angels because he deserves better.
Awful.
But he's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting paid.
the big
I don't
bucks.
think he's doing too much.
No, he's getting paid big bucks. That's for sure. Finally, we're gonna move to Team of the Week, and I think we all know who this is. This is the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep.
They're still very hot, and right now they are running away with the AL East.
They just keep winning, and I don't think they're going to slow down anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
It almost seems like they have that division locked down. I don't see anything crazy happening where they don't win that division.
Yeah, although the Yankees have been really hurt all year, the Rays have just not slowed down at all. So it's not like you can blame this on the Yankees being hurt. This is simply because of the Rays, and they're just playing good baseball.
Rays are playing good teams too.
They are.
Oh yeah.
The hot Blue Jays. I know they've played the healthy Yankees before. The Yankees
Yeah.
are no slouches still right now. That's all I have for this week in baseball. I'm gonna pass it on to Tristan for Let's Rank It.
Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate it. This is Let's Rank It, and today we'll be ranking the top 5 NBA players that still remain in the playoffs. At number 5, I'm actually going to go with James Harden here. He does take a lot of shots, but
As always.
he is averaging 30 points a game.
He gets to
which
that
is
free
big.
throw line a lot.
Yeah.
His points per game go up because of that. But yeah,
I think his
he's
defense been a little bit better in the playoffs.
the Rockets
Yeah.
defense as
Yeah,
a whole.
yeah.
He's been trying harder, I guess. Good for James Harden.
When it matters,
When it
Because
matters.
they have Russell Westbrook, who's
Yeah.
Who's overrated?
plays
I
as hard
think.
as he,
But
but he
Yeah,
plays,
yeah,
he
he
plays
does.
as hard
I
as
think
he
he
can.
He does play hard.
I appreciate that. I really do
100%
appreciate
agree.
hustle.
Blake, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Jimmy Butler from the Heat, who have really surprised everyone in the playoffs so far.
Yeah.
They are 7-1 right now. Almost went 8-0 into the finals, but he's definitely leading that charge, and he's having a very good postseason.
Number 5, I have Kawhi Leonard. I really think he's been hitting his stride, and I think he's helping the Clippers make the run that I expected them to make.
At 5, I also have Kawhi Leonard. He's looked really good in the bubble so far. I think he's going to continue to play well. But he's obviously a key part of the Clippers team's success. And I think it's going to be a good series between
Yeah.
Jamal Murray's Nuggets and his Clippers. Tristan, what's your number 4?
My number 4, I'm going with Kawhi.
Yep.
He's been really hot. He just needs to keep it up and keep working hard. He averages 29.
Keep working hard, Kawhi.
29, basically 30 points per game, and he's just hot. Blake, what's your number 4?
Number 4, I'm going to have to agree with you. I have Kawhi also, one of the best defenders in the league,
Yep.
and he's also putting up 30 points a night in the playoffs, which I don't know if you can ask for much more when, they're playing great basketball at both ends of the court. And he's doing it in the postseason, as he always does. And I'll pass it on to Matt. What's your number 4?
Thank you, Blake. My number 4 is LeBron James.
Ooh.
I think he's not having his greatest playoffs, but, the numbers still don't lie.
He's doing enough.
He's doing enough with the help from his talented roster that he has. I think that LeBron is really a key factor to the Lakers' success in
Yeah.
the playoffs.
My number 4 is going to be Jamal Murray, who's had
Ooh.
some of the best games in the playoffs, but has also had some very average games, which brings his number down to 4 here. He's been so valuable to this Nuggets team. They definitely wouldn't have advanced without him. And he's just been fun to watch, especially being a kid from Kentucky. So it's hard not to root for him. And that's why I have him at number 4 on my list.
My number 3, I'm going to go with Jamal Murray. I love to see. I'm not a UK fan, but I really love to see him
Succeed.
succeed and putting up the points he's putting up.
Does he still do the bow and arrow celebration when he hits
He
the
does.
threes? Really?
He does still do that.
I didn't think he did still. I appreciate that.
All right, number 3, I'm going to have to agree with Tristan again.
Oh,
I have Jamal Murray
Wow.
here again. He's having a crazy playoffs. He's dropped a couple 50 bombs. Was
Yep.
probably the key factor to that game. That's Game 7 or the series.
Yeah, they came
7-game
back. They
series.
Oh,
came
yeah.
back down 3-1.
And he's just been great, and I love to see him crossing up Kawhi.
Yeah,
the
that
other
was
night,
cool.
Which was crazy, and he's my number 3.
Number 3, I'm gonna have to agree with you two. I have
Wow.
Thank you.
Jamal Murray as well. You guys really said it all. He's been key.
Thanks.
Thank you. No.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
He's a
right?
key factor.
Sorry.
No, he's really been a key factor to them making the comeback that they had to make in the first round.
My number 3, Matt, is LeBron James. Obviously not his best postseason he's had so far, but it's only a second round, so you never know what he can do from here. Still putting up great numbers. Huge part of that Lakers team success, and they're another series that I'm excited to watch between the Lakers and the
Also
Rockets
1-1.
going forward.
Yeah. My number 2 is going to be Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Butler.
He's
Jimmy
been
Butler.
very, very clutch in the current season right now against the Heat, and I love to see him doing great.
Yes. Good.
Blake, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is LBJ, LeBron James.
Ah,
One of the best basketball players of all time, and he's playing like it in the playoffs.
Leroy.
What?
what? Leroy.
It's a bit random.
Okay.
But he's averaging almost 10 assists. He's
Yep.
putting, scoring like at a crazy rate like he always does. And as Josh kind of said, that team is built around him, and if he's playing well, the team's playing well. And that's why he's at my number 2.
Number 2, I have Jimmy Butler. I think he's really been. I sound a bit repetitive, but he's been good. He's been a key.
As
He's
all
been very good. He's really helped.
He's a
the
key
Heat.
factor.
He is a key factor. I mean, they're up 3-1 on the number 1 seed.
Hey,
in
they haven't
the
had
East.
money yet.
At the time of
At the
recording.
time
Yes,
of the
at the time
recording.
of-
I think they were very close to the sweep, and I think
Yeah.
without
Yeah, they went to
without
overtime.
without Jimmy Butler, I don't think it would be that possible.
My number 2 is also Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets. As Matt said, he's good.
He's good.
He's good. But in all seriousness, he's been. I wouldn't say he's put that Heat team on his shoulders, but he's been a huge factor for their success. Almost put the team on his back. So I'm really excited to see them, in all likeliness, get to the Eastern Conference Finals and play either the Raptors or the Celtics.
My number 1's going to be Anthony Davis. He's been a really key factor for the Lakers. Well, second key factor because
Good.
LeBron James. But for Anthony Davis, he's doing really well in this playoffs, and hopefully he brings the Lakers one step closer to the finals.
Yeah, and then
Blake?
I hope they lose to the Celtics.
That'd
I do too.
You'd love to see it. Blake,
You
what's your
would.
number 1?
I'm going to agree with you once again. I have AD, another Kentucky guy who's
Hey, go
had a
Cats.
great career, and he's playing on that loaded Lakers team, which is, a team's absolutely loaded with AD and LeBron. And Anthony Davis is kind of leading the charge right now. He's playing crazy good basketball, and he's a key factor to why they're playing the basketball that they are.
Number 1, I also have the Brow. I think really, I've
Brow.
noticed when I've watched him in the playoffs. I think he's become more than just a post scorer. I think he's become an all-around basketball player. I noticed he's shooting the 3. He's shooting the 3 a little more often than he did a
I think
few
he's
years
always had
back.
a shot.
He doesn't use it as much.
He hasn't
because
used it as
the
much,
Pelicans left him down low because he was so dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Lakers are really letting AD play his game, and I think that will make him
It's
a better
showing.
player in the future. Yeah. Josh, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is also the Brow, Anthony Davis.
Wow.
He's been
The Brow.
huge for
He's a big guy, yeah.
he is a big guy. He's been huge for the Lakers' success, and he's just been a dominant force down there in the paint and even behind the three-point arc. So actually all around the court, he even his mid-range has been really working for him. So yeah, he's been awesome for them, and it's been fun to watch another guy from Kentucky dominate the NBA
He looks
playoffs.
very intimidating in the playoffs, doesn't he?
He
The new
does.
hair, he looks very scary. I
Yes,
would not want to come across that guy.
With the braided hair, the
Yeah.
unibrow, that is intimidating. That is intimidating.
It's a good
And
look.
He's a big guy, as we said. He's a
Yeah,
big guy.
he's
huge.
He's near 7 foot.
All right, well, that's all we have for Let's Rank It. And after the break, I will pass it off to Josh with Matchup Mania.
Welcome back to the Fourth Inning Podcast, to a segment that we've done in the past. It's called Matchup Mania. We did this with the NFL, and we're going to stay with football, except we're going to go college football this time. Obviously, no Big Ten or Pac-12 matchups in this list, so you're going to see a lot of trend of SEC and Big 12.
Ooh, ACC.
A little
Little
ACC.
ACC.
One game of that. Yeah, here we go. Starting on October 10th, we have Texas versus Oklahoma, a neutral site game, the Red River Showdown. I have Oklahoma in this game. I think the redshirt freshman quarterback Spencer Rattler is going to really be good for them, and I'm excited to watch this game for sure.
I'm going to have to agree with you here, Josh. I really like them winning this game. Spencer's looking really good this year. To get him many wins.
Yeah, that's right.
He is looking
Blake,
I agree. I think Spencer Rattler is a future Heisman winner. And
Another one for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and this
Heisman.
is going to be his first year starting. There's a lot of hype around him, and I think he'll live up to it. And I think they'll have maybe an easy win against Texas.
I also have Oklahoma here. I think Oklahoma is I don't want to say a shoo-in for the college football playoffs, but
They're not.
they're
You
not.
think
But
these-
I think the odds are good, and I just don't think Texas has enough to match Oklahoma right now.
Our next matchup happening on November 28th, Auburn at Alabama, the Iron Bowl. I have Alabama in this game. I just think a young Auburn team losing a lot of production, especially on the defense side of the ball this year. I think Mac Jones and his offense just overcomes that, and I think they win this game in blowout fashion.
yeah, it might be a little biased for me since I'm an Alabama fan, but
Don't
And,
worry.
and
They're
Michigan fan.
yeah,
Alabama,
yes.
Kentucky,
Not a Kentucky fan, I
No,
don't think.
no.
You don't like
not
Kentucky?
No, I'll
You
cheer
just
for
said
them,
that.
but
You
I'm not a
just said
Kentucky
that.
fan.
You just said that in the last segment.
That's a shame.
Blake, what do
Yeah,
you? what do you-
I thought
what
he
do
did say he was a
He did
Kentucky
say
fan
he's not
last
a
segment.
No, he said he's
No,
not a Kentucky
I said I'm not a
Ah,
Kentucky
ah.
fan, but I like rooting for Jamal Murray.
Yes, you'll have
All
to see
right,
that.
I'm going to agree again. I think Alabama gets the easy win here. I favor Alabama's defense over Bo Picks. And
Yeah, Bo Picks is right,
yeah, and
especially on the
I,
road.
Yeah, and I think Alabama has one of their easy, or not one of their easy wins, but an easy win.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you guys have said it all. I got Alabama in a 20 plus point win right here.
Oh,
I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Our next matchup happening on October 17th, LSU at Florida. Obviously, this LSU team losing a lot of production. I'd probably say 80+%.
Yeah, and their
I don't know if
their number one receiver sitting out.
Yep. So, yeah, he was one of their only, I wouldn't say bright spots, but one of the things
Only
to look
big
forward
returning
to.
players.
Yeah.
In this upcoming year, and he's just not going to play. And I think this Florida team is going to be really good. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I have Florida in this game.
Like Josh said, LSU has lost a lot, but Florida, they're going to pull it off, and they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I say Florida wins this. Florida is definitely a team that people need to be looking for this year, especially with some certain teams not playing. And I think they have a shot at making the playoffs. And I think the team's going to be really good. And I think LSU is definitely going to have a big down year, especially after having such a historic year last year. And I think Florida gets another easy win.
I also have Florida here. I know
A lot of agreement.
I know.
Love to see that.
I know you all know that I'm high on Florida after the hot take I made that they're going to make the playoffs, and I'm gonna stick with that. I think Florida's got a lot of talent. I think Kyle Trask is really going to lead Florida to this victory here, especially at home, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next matchup happening on November 7th, Clemson at Notre Dame. This is going to be huge for implications on that ACC title. Both of these teams, I think, could make the playoff. In my prediction, I had them both in the playoff. But I think Notre Dame comes away with the win in this game.
Oof.
I think a fifth-year Ian Book surprises a lot of people, and I think he's up there for Heisman voting when the year's all said and done. I have Notre Dame in this game.
I love it, Josh. Notre Dame's looking really, really good. I'm hoping they make the playoffs this
Are
year.
you watching their spring practices? Or
Oh,
something?
every day.
Really?
Every day. Every single day. Michael Mayer.
Yes.
He's looking good.
He's
Yes.
a very, very,
Kentucky
very large.
guy, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to see
Yes.
our Kentucky
Yep.
guy succeeding.
Local Northern Kentucky guy.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
All right, I'm going to agree again.
Oh, boy.
It's crazy that we're all agreeing on an upset victory of
Yeah.
Notre Dame over Clemson.
Great minds think alike.
Does
But
Matt?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
we'll get
we'll
to
get
it.
to
We'll
that.
get to it.
I'm as Tristan said, I am biased. Well, he's biased to Alabama. I'm biased to Notre Dame. I am obviously on the Notre Dame hype train, and I think they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to get a big win over Clemson.
Honestly, that's a fair point on the bias because I probably would pick Kentucky over Clemson, but I do have
That'd be absurd.
I do have Kentucky's in the top
Wow.
25 this year.
Like in the back, and Clemson's in
Well,
the
yeah,
front.
because half teams aren't playing this year. But yeah, we'll take it all day. We will take that all
Don't
day.
talk about that. Oh yeah, I'm really not gonna undermine how good Notre Dame is because I do think they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. But I think Clemson is just such a good team, led by Trevor Lawrence, of course, and I think that it will be close. But I think that the home field advantage of Notre Dame is a bit wiped out with the lesser amount of fans. So I think Clemson will, as they say.
Uh-oh.
You
boy.
wouldn't let me finish off the
No,
sentence.
no,
now.
you're
no,
taking
it's
too long.
random.
It's time for the
random.
joke.
Take
It
a
is
little
It
random.
goes off.
It
It
goes
is
off
random.
There you go,
randomly.
Josh, he has no control over it.
Yeah, but you guys know what this is. It's the joke of the week.
Jeez, let's get a little more excitement
Come
going.
on, Matt.
It's the joke of the week.
So what's the joke, Matt? Let's hear it.
I have a lot to work up to because last week's was good.
Yeah,
Very, very good.
Have you ever heard of the bad pole vaulter?
Nope.
I have
nope.
not.
No, I have not.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
No.
there's some.
I don't know. It never goes over very well.
Oh no.
Oh, no, Matt.
Oh,
Matt.
no.
Oh,
no.
no.
It was a bad joke with terrible delivery.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
We
Bad
might have a
joke.
record low here.
I don't think so.
Blake, go ahead, get us
I
started.
Start with Josh.
I don't
Start with
think-
Josh.
Okay, we'll
I
start
don't.
with
Josh.
I really don't think it's that much different than last week's.
It
just a
is.
different-
Oh, it's
so
a
much
huge
worse.
So much
And you
different.
botched it.
You simply couldn't deliver it. That's why I'm gonna go 4.1 on this. Not good. Not
Oh,
good
boy,
execution.
that's low.
Not a good joke.
It was, yeah. It was.
If someone goes,
I think-
if someone puts a 3 down, I'm disowning.
Oh.
you. Disowning.
What?
Oh, well. Well,
You don't own him.
looks like you're
For
disowning
legal
me.
reasons, we're not gonna.
So, Matt,
elaborate
I'm
on that.
sorry.
Legal reasons.
I hate to say it, but it was a bad joke.
Bad
That's
sense of
it's
humor.
a 3.2
Bad
for me.
sense of
Ooh,
humor.
boy,
Not good.
3.2.
that's brutal.
That is
given-
brutal.
I'm gonna give it a 1.1. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna give it.
No,
I'm
just
gonna
kidding,
give it a
guys.
3.5.
3-5. No room to
What
talk.
is the total score?
Absolutely no room to
What is this?
talk.
What do you
Total
mean?
score, Blake?
I don't understand. 10.8.
Oh,
out of
no.
30.
That is
Absolutely-
bad.
Absolutely no room to
Sorry,
talk.
Matt. You
What
gotta.
do you mean?
Tell me a funnier joke right now.
Oh, did you think of that on the spot?
I did think of it on the spot.
Oh,
I always do.
Okay.
I'm
I
sure.
always do.
Did you
He
come up with that
always
one
does.
too?
What?
Did you come up with it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I did.
Sure. Okay.
You know, I'm a big
how about
track
back
and
to
field man.
how about back to this shit?
Okay.
podcast?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right,
Let's
yes.
reel it
I
back
was,
in.
the bell
Yeah.
rudely interrupted me, but I'll move on.
Hey,
It goes off
it's
randomly.
random.
It does.
I mean,
does.
if you
It's
want
just-
to, if you want to finish your
it's
plea
bad
before it comes in
timing.
here, go ahead.
Okay, all right, Josh.
Fair enough. Back to matchup mania here. Another SEC matchup: Georgia at Alabama, happening on October 17th. I have Bama in this game. I think Mac Jones and the offense can overcome that scary Georgia defense, and I'm excited to watch this one for sure. I got Bama.
I think Georgia's gonna end up pulling this off.
Yeah.
Barely, like last second field goal. I think they're gonna make it.
Last second field goal.
Yeah, with about
That's so
3.2 seconds left, about the 26
Is-
yard line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
26.
Anyway, Blake, who you got?
I'm going to agree with Josh. I think Alabama gets another win here. I think this is going to be a much more contested win than the Auburn game. But Alabama is returning a lot more talent than people realize, and I think they definitely overpower that Georgia team.
I also have Alabama here. I think they're.
Where's the energy? Why are you talking so quiet?
Well, I don't know. I'm just talking. Yeah, I have Alabama. They're gonna beat Georgia, and I think they're the better team all the way.
There you go.
Isn't Georgia's quarterback? Didn't he opt out this
He
year?
did.
They're back
He
up.
sure did.
Right,
They're back up, but still, like
It was a
backups-
contested.
Yeah. It was.
Starting
It was,
spot.
But still,
it was a QB battle in camp. So
that QB battles are also
It's
sometimes.
it's over
It is the QB battle is over
because
obviously. But yeah, I have Alabama all the way. I think Nick Saban will really coach up that good Alabama team like always. make a deep run in the SEC.
in our last matchup here on matchup Matt. Oh boy, I'll redo that. Alrighty, moving on to our last matchup here. Another neutral site game. I got Florida against Georgia happening on November 7th. This is going to be huge for implications on the SEC East, and I think Florida comes out on top in this game. I'm really riding the hype train for these Gators this year, and
Yes,
I
sir.
think they're going to be in the playoff.
I think Florida's gonna actually pull this one off.
So
They're
you,
not.
you
I,
think,
I still don't think they're
so-
gonna win the
so
SEC.
is-
you think
but
Georgia beats Bama, then Florida beats Georgia?
So is Kyle Trask not
Yes.
gonna get hurt anymore, or is he still gonna get hurt?
We don't know yet. We don't
We don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
We
We'll
don't
find
know.
out. All right, Blake.
I have Florida winning this game. I think the neutral site has a big impact on this game because it's not favored to play in Georgia or Florida for the opposing team. And I still think Florida will win this game because I think they're the better team. And once again, they're a team to look out for, and they're competing for a national title this year, so I don't think Georgia's going to get in the way.
I think Florida is going to compete for national title here. I got Florida over Georgia. I think there's only two teams that can compete with Florida in the SEC East, and that's Georgia and Kentucky this year. No bias. I think Florida is going to run the SEC East and maybe run the table in the entire SEC, so it's going to be really excited to see what Florida can do.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap up Matchup Mania segment. That was I enjoyed to bring back. I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys, but
Yeah, I
I
think
love
we
it.
should
all the
do
segments
more.
we do.
yeah, maybe we should do that
It's a
more.
little bit harder to do because
Yeah.
you only do it once per season.
Yeah,
That's very
kinda.
true, especially before the season. You got
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
before. All right, I'm going to pass it on to Blake now for podcast predictions, as we're going to talk about some fantasy football predictions right here.
As Josh said, we're going to do some fantasy football and podcast predictions, and we're going to do it by skill positions, starting with quarterback, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. We're going to do a must get, a stay away, somebody to stay away from, and a sleeper player. And Josh is going to kick it off with quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback here, a must-get player besides the obvious. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, got to get those guys if you can. But I think late in the draft, if Dak Prescott is still there, you got to get him. He has tons of weapons surrounding him, a great offensive line. I think he's poised for a great year.
I can testify as he was my fantasy quarterback last year, and he
Yeah.
did not disappoint.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just a fact,
Plus-
right?
Plus the addition of CeeDee Lamb. This is someone.
Yeah, team's loaded.
Yeah,
He's
that
good at
that
football.
offense is
Yeah.
loaded for sure. Someone to stay away from this year, Matt Ryan.
Nice.
His one
Makes
receiver,
sense.
Julio Jones, he gets hurt sometimes, a decent amount. But
Don't be mad
it's
at
not
you.
terrible.
if he's not on and they got a good defense, because their line is not good at all. So if they get a good pass rush going against them, it's going to be trouble for Matty Ice in that pocket. Matty Ice. And finally, my sleeper at the quarterback position, Kyler Murray, second-year quarterback out of
I like that take.
out of Oklahoma. With the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, in my opinion, the best receiver in football, plus the offensive-minded coach in Cliff Kingsbury. I think it's just a recipe for success for Kyler Murray in his young career, in his second season.
It's a big season for him.
It is.
Had a very regular season as expected from him.
Was he Rookie of the Year?
I think he was, but he didn't have a crazy year. He just kind of had what people expected.
He also didn't have DeAndre Hopkins, so
yeah, it's very true.
the addition of Hopkins is huge for a young quarterback like that. Alrighty, that wraps up my predictions for quarterbacks. I'm gonna give it to Blake for his running back predictions.
Yeah, all right. So I have running back, and I'm gonna start with Musket. And I can't really do anybody else because it's obvious. It's Christian McCaffrey. If you can get this guy, you have to get him. He's going to be the best fantasy player this year.
It's going to have to be early in the draft.
Yeah, you're going to have to. If you have the opportunity to get him, you have to take him, whether it's number one overall or not. And it's too obvious to put anybody else there. Somebody to stay away from is Aaron Jones. He had a good year last year, but they did draft a running back in this draft, which may have implications on how confident they are in his ability. And
it's also going to take away some of his reps.
Yeah, his use. So maybe they're looking to get rid of him, or maybe just take away some of his playing time. But it's not looking good for him. And a sleeper is Cam Akers. He's going to get that. He's going to get that starting spot on the Rams, and he's the 26th ranked running back, I think, going into the season, and he's projected to get like over 1,000 scrimmage yards this year, which is crazy for running back 26.
Yeah, that's someone you're going to find late in your draft.
Yeah, that's somebody you got to pick up. If
you can scoop him up, you have to.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pass it on to Tristan for wide receiver.
Thank you, Blake.
No problem.
For wide receivers, the must-get, I got to go Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
I think he's best wide receiver in the game, is definitely worth a
You
top
think so?
5 pick.
He's the best
Yeah.
fantasy wide receiver,
Yeah.
because he gets so many receptions.
And then a guy you're going to have to pass on is Odell. He's just, with Landry there, he's not going to get it. Landry's just going to be the main target in OBJ.
You think Landry's going to be the main target?
Yeah, over OBJ.
I think Odell had a disappointing.
He had a disappointing season, as Blake was saying, disappointing season last year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a pass-up kind of guy, but he's definitely not a top guy anymore.
My sleeper, I'm going to have to go with Justin Jefferson.
A rookie, huh?
Yeah, even though he's a rookie, he's still going to have a great season, and he's going to be a really reliable target for Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
I'll pass it to Matt
I have no
with
words.
the tight ends.
Thank you, Tristan.
No problem.
First, I'm going to start with a musket, and it's George Kittle, obviously, for the San Francisco 49ers.
Is it obvious?
Yeah.
It could be Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I'm a big Kelsey guy, but
I'm going to go George Kittle. He was targeted a lot last year, obviously, by Jimmy Garoppolo, and I know he was a pretty important piece of that Super Bowl runner-up team. I'm going to pass here Rob Gronkowski.
yeah,
Some people have him as
Yeah.
a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, sir.
First
Some
of
people
all-
have him as top 3.
First of all,
That's ridiculous.
he's old and he sat last year out.
Whoa,
so
he's not old.
He's
just
older for
He's
a
old.
tight end.
He's old for the league.
And maybe he's still in shape from that 24/7 championship.
Yeah, possibly.
He's been working hard.
For a bit of a sleeper, I can testify to this one because I had him on I picked him up on my fantasy team. Hunter Henry for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Bit of a sleeper. He doesn't look like he'd be that good, but I mean he consistently puts up.
doesn't look that
No,
good?
he doesn't. But he consistently puts up
Can
numbers.
you say that?
Yes.
Okay.
He consistently puts up impressive numbers that could put him as one of the better tight ends in football.
See, I would agree with that if Phillip Rivers was still on that team and still targeted him. But there's no way to really tell with.
See, Tyrod Taylor won that job.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he over
He
Justin
did.
Herbert?
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, and I just don't know. Taylor's never really played with a good tight end, so I don't know how that's going to affect Hunter Henry's production. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We will have to see.
All right, and that wraps up podcast predictions. And after the break, I'm going to pass it on to Matt for the hot take.
Welcome back to the Fourth Inning Podcast. And before I give the floor to Matt for his hot take, on this day in sports, September 10th, 1960, according to myth, keep this in mind, according to myth, Mickey Mantle of the New York Yankees hits a home run that goes 643 feet.
That's a long way.
That goes
that is
over
a
That's a
lot of
moon
feet.
shot.
the right
That's a
field
lot of
roof at Detroit Break Stadium. I'm sure that is 100% true because 643 feet, that's just,
That's specific.
yeah, that's definitely true. I know that's true.
I know it's true. Mickey Mantle. Oh boy.
You were there watching it.
I can't say that I was. I'm only 16.
Yeah?
That's too much information though. Now we're gonna move on.
What's the hot take? Come on.
Welcome to Douglas's hot take.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You all
Doug.
know the rules. I deliver an unpopular sports opinion and we discuss it. This week's hot take is that Joe Burrow wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's a hot take because you can never really predict the Rookie of the Year, but Joe Burrow is definitely the favorite going into the season. He was the easy number 1 overall pick and the easy Heisman winner. So I can see how a lot of people will think that he's going to be that Rookie of the Year.
I don't know. I'm back and forth. I don't know if he's going to win it or not. I'd love to see him win it, but
As would I. I'm a Bengals fan.
I think all of you. Well, no, not Josh. I don't think you're not a Bengals fan, so.
I'm not a Bengals fan, no. But Joey B winning Rookie of the Year, I wouldn't be shocked if it happens, but it's not something I'm going to place a bet on, obviously. That offensive line is my biggest problem with that team. If you can't protect your first overall draft pick, you got a problem, and he's not going to play to his best ability, so that's why I'm kind of on the fence with him winning Rookie of the Year.
I think that Joe Burrow. I think he's got a lot of natural talent. I know he's a leader. I don't want to say that as a Bengals fan, but I think he's like a leader.
You think?
Personally.
Like a
He
leader?
is. He is a leader.
He is a leader, and I think the surrounding cast that Joe Burrow has will really help him boost his stats and really help some personal success for him.
I think it's going to be tough for him to succeed in such a losing environment right now with a team that's not expected to have a good year at all. And the defense isn't going to do him any favors, so he's probably going to be behind a lot and having to put points up on the board. And, you never really trust if A.J. Green's going to be healthy all year, if he's going to play all year. He has kind of a locker room cancer. So that may have an effect on that team's
Who knows if he even
chemistry.
shows up this year, AJ
Yeah,
Green?
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's very true. Unfortunately, that is true.
Yeah.
But maybe he has a bond with Tyler Boyd, John Ross, T. Higgins.
Let's not forget about T. Higgins. I was about to say that. That's
another big rookie.
That's a potential Andy Dalton AJ Green connection. They
Possibly.
were both drafted the same year. I think
Yeah.
they could really
Yeah.
have a good chemistry together and could make a pretty good quarterback receiver combination.
Instead of, I guess, going more in detail on Joe Burrow, let's talk about other candidates. You got CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys, who I think won't be getting the most, I guess, targets with
Definitely not.
with Cooper being there.
Loaded offense.
But I still think he could put up insane numbers. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire from the Chiefs, he'll be one of their primary running backs. And with that high-powered offense, who knows what he can do? And even Jerry Jeudy on the Broncos.
Yeah.
A young quarterback on Drew Lock might want to work with a young receiver in Jerry Jeudy, so you never know what can happen like that.
Yeah, talked about that last week. I think
We did.
there's a lot. It's a pretty talented rookie class. I think
On both sides of the ball, too.
Yeah, the one thing that's really restricting.
Yeah, Isaiah Simmons could be another person in that Rookie of the Year.
Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Well, there's
possibly.
offensive and defensive
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, there
Yeah.
is, right? Yeah, never mind.
But, to the point, I think the rookie class was great this year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch them on the
One
field.
of the best
for
in
once.
many years.
I think the one thing that holds Joe Burrow back is the offensive line. I think if
Terrible.
it wasn't for the line, I think he'd be a solid front runner. But I think
It's just a mystery with the line at this point.
we've
We
all-
don't know what kind of protection he's going to get. So
we've all
And
seen
they're
that picture.
they're very unhealthy in the
yeah,
past.
We've all seen that picture of the Bengals training camp when Joe Burrow's getting chased by
Yes.
five D
I heard that's a drill. That's a specific drill.
You did?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny.
They
It is
line up one center and then they just have 5 defensive guys run at you to try and.
Well,
help
he's gonna
work
have to
out
get
the
used
That's
to
smart.
it. So he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's-
get
He's
used
getting
to
ready
it.
for the season.
Exactly my point. He's going to have to get real used to that.
It also hurts that he's not really gonna have a big tight end target this year.
Yeah.
With Uzama's gonna get that starting
Yeah.
spot probably.
Where did Eifert go? Jaguars?
Hurt.
No, Eifert is not on the Bengals anymore.
I know I know he left somewhere.
I'm not sure.
It's a shame. I'm getting off topic. Tyler Eifert was a really, really good tight end.
Yeah,
but he just-
injuries
injury
plagued
bug.
him.
Okay. I think we've all displayed all of our thoughts. Let's go to our final prediction. I think Joe Burrow will pull off Rookie of the Year despite the Bengals' abysmal offensive line.
I think it's a very open competition for that. I don't know what you would say, but I think there's a lot of people competing for that Rookie of the Year, and there's a lot of people who could easily win it.
I think at the end it's going to be down to Jerry Jeudy and Joe Burrow who's going to win it, but I think Joe Burrow's going to come away with it.
I think this is going to be one of those years where there's 2 or 3 guys at the end of the year that are right there on the doorstep of it. This year, my prediction is going to be Joe Burrow and CeeDee Lamb. Actually, you know what? Throw Clyde Edwards-Helaire in there, too. Someone I mentioned earlier.
It's very different from last year where Kyle Murray was pretty much the Rookie of the Year all year.
And there wasn't a lot of rookie production at all last year. So he blew that out of the door. But I think Joe Burrow does win Rookie of the Year, man. I like the hot take.
I like all those opinions.
Yeah.
Personally, and I hope that the Bengals or Joe Burrow at least won't disappoint like the other Cincinnati sports team has.
I think he's the franchise QB.
I think he is too. But we'll stop with all the rambling, and with that will wrap up the 13th episode of the Fourth Inning Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we hope you tune in next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow our social medias, do all that, and remember to get 4% better every day. See ya.